My name is Razwan Ul-Haq, and I live in England in the north, and I'm an Arabic calligrapher, and I've been a full-time Arabic calligrapher for over 20 years. I really enjoyed art. From the first day of school, I loved art. But when I was 8 years old, I saw my uncle, some of the calligraphy that my uncle had created, and it was incredible. And he was actually an Arabic calligrapher. He could write verses of the Quran. He also was a scribe for many books, and that created an interest in me. So when I was small, I used to use bamboo pens, some wooden tablets, and hand-mixed ink. And I really enjoyed learning about the letters, learning about the words and how they form, and I just found it absolutely fascinating. So that was when I was very young. So as I got older, calligraphy never left me, and I just thought it was a great way to keep not just in touch with tradition or in touch with sort of sacred words, but also you could be very creative with it. You could create new worlds. So calligraphy actually gave us a new way of not just holding on to tradition, but also thinking about new things and also creating words, creating worlds, creating many new things that haven't been created before. I was a university student, and I was walking in the University of Manchester, and I looked on the wall, and there was this poster about an artist that was giving a talk, and it was by Ahmed Mustafa. I had never seen calligraphy used that way. What I liked about Ahmed Mustafa was that he was using sort of traditional proportions, but he was painting the calligraphy in a very new way. Some people would say that's modern art, some people might call it postmodern, some people might call it contemporary, but I really like the way that he sort of blended the two. So that I found interesting. I had never seen anyone do that before. Sometimes what happens is that you'll be walking along and you'll get an idea. Sometimes what happens is that for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 days you might be thinking of something. I've written many books as well, so one of the books I wrote many years ago was The 99 Names of God. Some series of my work, you can see that reflected the idea of the divine, and the idea of a human being, and then the divine being, and different aspects of that sort of that way of looking, or that kind of a relationship that a human being has in space as per the divine. So that's one theme. Another theme that's important, I think, is poetic themes. Sometimes we have Jalaluddin Rumi's poetry, or you have Iqbal's poetry, or you have Hafez's poetry, and you have many different poets. And sometimes I'll use a theme like that, or an Arabic saying, or an Ottoman saying, or an Urdu saying, or even an English saying. So the saying itself can be a theme. I like to play with words as well, and I might create my own saying. If we look at Arabic calligraphy recently, if we look at Fighting to be Heard, when we were looking at the boxer, the inspiration for that piece of artwork, we went right back to some of the most oldest Quran manuscripts that we've got here in the West, and especially here in England. So we looked at some of the most oldest manuscripts from the British Library, and we worked with the British Library in Cartwright Hall, and we were inspired by the calligraphy of the Quran, and also how it got filtered in different countries. So for example, when calligraphy went to Egypt, it was a little bit different. When it went to the north, it was a little bit different. When it went to the Maghrib and also Muslim Spain, it was a little bit different. Those themes are very, very important to me. When you think of the divine being, or when you think of what is a human being, Arabic calligraphy for over 1,000 years has been inspired by the sacred. And I think the sacred is something that really inspires us. When we think of cosmology, we're thinking about something other than ourselves. So for example, we are in this world, but also there are parallel worlds as well. So in one sense, we are part of the Earth, and then we are part of the solar system, and then the solar system is part of the galaxy, and then the galaxy is part of many, many, many other galaxies. But also the inner worlds, sometimes people might say the world of angels or the spirit world, also the mathematical world. So we can look at the world through mathematics, we can look at the world through physics, and all of these different ways of looking, different ways of being, and different ways of living. I like to think very deeply about those and see how we can express those in our work. So when we think about cosmology, when I mean cosmology, I mean thinking about something greater than ourselves. And in my art, if someone looks at my calligraphy or looks at my art and it transports them to a different world, then that's what I mean by cosmology. So the Nastaliq script is a very, very light script. It's a very spiritual script, and it was invented sometime in the 15th century, around that sort of time in Persia. And what I love about this script is that its subtlety. It's almost as if when you have horses and clouds and you put them together, it creates this script. Mevlana Rumi, Hafez, Iqbal, and also many different Arabic and Persian and Ottoman and Turkish poets are written in this script. Sometimes you find this script also written sometimes not as much outside the masjid in a mosque, but sometimes you will find it inside the masjid. Usually poetry is used in the script, so it's a very versatile script. But it's the spiritual aspect of the script that interests me a lot, and I find that this script lends itself to a very soulful looking at the world. So it's more very subtle. It has a very gentle quality, but in that gentleness there's a lot of power in there. The Nastaliq script is characterized by flight. They say it was based perhaps on flying geese, and it does have that aspect of the air about it. So if you think about it, if we look at the 4 elements, if one element was fire, one element was water, one was earth, one was air, Nastaliq would be the air quality. And what drove me to it was that aspect. Now, the other thing about Nastaliq is that you can write other languages in Nastaliq very easily. So, for example, Farsi is often written in Nastaliq, Urdu is written in Nastaliq. I always say that everybody should, if you can, do an apprenticeship. If you can do an apprenticeship in calligraphy, even if you're a modern artist, or even if you're even if you're an abstract artist, if you want to look at Arabic calligraphy, I always believe that you should try if you can. Master will correct any mistakes that you make when you are copying a script. It will happen again and again and again. It's a very exacting apprenticeship. It's a very difficult apprenticeship, and in the apprenticeship as well, you often learn how to create a qalam or a pen, how to use different inks in different contexts. But most of all, it's about composition. So in Nastaliq, it's all about where one word is going to go and another word is going to go, and so I would also always recommend someone to do that. I think when we think of Arabic calligraphy goes very strongly towards spiritual devotion. And Arabic calligraphy, like we said, is very strongly linked to the Quran. It's very strongly linked to ahadith literature. It's very strongly linked to poetry. And it's very strongly linked to, for example, Sufi poetry. It's a question that people sometimes can very easily get mixed up, because people sometimes think that meditation or reflection or sort of devotion and praying are not linked, but I think all of these have links. I think what's really important to recognize, and something we often forget, is that people who don't know any Arabic, or people who are not Muslim, they really enjoy Arabic calligraphy. So, for example, when people looked at the Boxer, or when people looked at the Quran and they weren't Muslims, they really enjoyed it. And many people who don't know any Arabic, when they look at how beautiful Arabic looks, they love the flow of the script. But also people are really interested in finding out what is the spiritual devotion behind it. You know, people can sometimes pick it up. So for example, there was someone who didn't know any Arabic, and she said, "This is the first time I'm looking at a piece of artwork," and she said, "I know that this artwork is one of the names of God." She said, "I can feel it." She didn't know, she wasn't a Muslim, she didn't know any Arabic, and she said, I can feel that this word is one of the names of God, and it was. So it's very interesting that people can feel devotion from other places when they look at Arabic calligraphy, and it has this kind of power. I've been very, very lucky enough to have my work in lots of different spaces. So, for example, one of the biggest pieces of artwork we did was for the Tour de France, and we were commissioned to do a big word, and we actually did it on the hill. It was many, many meters tall, and you could see it for miles. My work was projected as part of the Van Gogh immersive exhibition. And also recently here in Bradford, I also had some of my Arabic words in giant neon all over the city. Some of the 99 names of Allah were put up. So yeah, my work is placed in different contexts, sometimes in nature, sometimes my artwork is in galleries. I think the sort of nature of some of the calligraphy that I do, I do like to look at the real world as well, you know, what is happening right now, and then connect that with the spiritual world. So some people call it perhaps magic realism, some people might call it contemporary art, some people might call it modern art, but yes, there is a juxtaposition in my artwork, some people say. So they'll say, what does a Lamborghini got to do with Arabic calligraphy? What does a helicopter got to do with Arabic calligraphy? What does a boxer got to do with Arabic calligraphy, or a comic book character? But these are lived experiences. Someone, for example, who plays football in their life, you know, that's a lived experience, and it's wonderful to sort of celebrate that lived experience and take inspiration from that. You know, we can also take inspiration from just a terraced house or just a chimney, for example. We can take inspiration from machines. I think that when the Quran, for example, talks about ayat and it talks about signs and symbols, the Quran says that you know, we will show you the signs that are in front of you, or we will show you the signs on the furthest horizons, al-aflaq, and we will show you the signs within yourselves. So to me, these are all signs. You know, these are all signs pointing to a greater good. So, for example, a machine can open the door to the soul. The soul can also open the door to a machine as well. So I do like to often sort of begin with a real experience that we have, and then perhaps connect it to something different.